What is up, everyone? We're starting in about a minute. What's up, everyone? Welcome. This one is a little bit more chilly. I will wait a little bit until a few more people are joining. So, feel free to ask me any questions. We're just sitting here for a few minutes discussing about this printer. And then we're doing some testing. A little follow-up from the stream that we did last week, where we had some issues with the printer, but over the weekend I had a few good discussions with Bambu Lab, and they gave me some advice how to fix the problem that he had with the detachment of the print, and also they sent me a manual, and then we also fixed the app. But we're gonna talk about it. We have plenty of time. Let me know who's in the chat. Wow from Brazil, welcome. Roland from, where are you from? North is up. Somewhere from the north. Not sure what that means. Let me know where you're coming from. From Canada, I see. Welcome, Canada. Welcome to Germany. Oh, Jacques is also from Canada. I guess you're just like, it's just in the morning. Oh, maybe lunchtime actually. North is up. I see. Tom is from Ohio. Hey, Tom. Good to have you here. So, apparently we're here to talk about this printer, about the Bambu Lab. Let me turn down music a bit. Do it this way. So, I wanted to talk about a few things from the last stream. So last time I was unboxing this printer, the Bambu Lab X1. Let me let's switch over this printer. And we had some issues with the printer that were, I was thinking that it had to do with the initial calibration, because I removed the print surface during the calibration because it wasn't on like straight. So it was like kind of misaligned, but I'll show you in a second what was the actual issue. And then I also tried to use the application, so the mobile app. That didn't work on my phone. And over the weekend, I got in contact with Bambu Lab, and they tried, like they had a look in the log files, because I was able to download the beta version of the app now over the weekend and try to test it out. And it turned out that on phones that aren't on English language, the app still had some issues. So they fixed that. I think it took them 1 hour to fix it on Saturday night. And then it also works on my German phone. So we can try out to use the app, which I'm actually looking for, to see how using the app works and how starting a remote print could work. But I guess since I've discovered this one little issue that I'm going to show you in a second, we'll have to do the calibration one more time. So let's do that. Any questions up front from chat? Okay, no questions from the chat. Let's head over, let's start. So, I hope audio is still good, but this time I'm using a mobile microphone. So I turned on the printer once again, and I will show you what we discussed online over the weekend with the Bambu Lab team, because so we need a little bit more light in this case to show you the problem. And I will take this camera. Let me show you the issues. So here we go. So last time I was thinking, okay, the print bed couldn't calibrate correctly for some reason which I couldn't figure out in the last stream. And then over the weekend we discussed, and they sent me actually some screenshot that this bearing here, or this, I don't know, this is a bearing that is in the case housing in the bottom. They told me that this could have come up somehow during transportation, but this isn't really the case, so it is all fine, nothing has come loose. But looking closer, what I discovered that there is actually a little bit of, yeah, I was thinking that it was actually dirt, but you'll see in a second that this is not dirt. Let's take a screwdriver and let's pull the stuff out here. Because you can see there is a little screw that fell into this, this cavity here. And this little screw here, I hope you can see it, that was blocking the print bed from going down completely. And I have no idea where the screw is coming from. I hope that this is not an issue that's not gonna cause an issue. So let's just remove this little guy here. And then I hope we're going to be fine. So excuse the heavy shaking, but I had to take the camera out of the tripod. So taking my screwdriver, which is hopefully magnetized, and getting this. And this was actually hiding here in the back, so I couldn't see it in the first place. So I'm trying to get it out because my screwdriver, of course, this one isn't magnetized. So let's get it magnetized first. And hopefully I'm more lucky. Here we go. This is the cause of the issue. This little screw here. Hopefully that fixes our problem, removing that one. So, I'm not sure what worries me more. The fact that there was a screw in the bottom of this printer, and you know, we have a little history on this channel with lost screws of printers. If you're already a little bit longer on the channel. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to repeat the whole calibration process just from the start. I'm not sure where this is done. I guess this is somewhere here. Calibration, okay. I'm gonna recalibrate the printer completely. First of all, I'm gonna remove everything from the print bed that is left over from our last test prints. So that looks clean. And I will start the calibration. So that is going to take a few minutes, probably 1, 2, 3 minutes to calibrate. So yeah, as I said, this little screw here was down in the bottom of the printer, and I'm not sure what worries me more, if if the screw is missing somewhere or if someone dropped it while doing the initial assembly. I have no idea. So, the printer is currently doing its calibration. That's a little bit noisy. You can probably hear it. But last time we already discovered that this is absolutely normal. It's just the way how this printer calibrates and tests for vibrations actually. So that's why it makes these noises. So, what's up? What's going on in the chat? I think it's pretty quiet at the moment. What I also want to try out is mounting the spool holder. I think last time I failed to mount the spool holder because I wasn't really understanding where it goes. Actually, I was thinking that this is some kind of filament sensor, but it seems that it's just there to straighten out a bowden tube, or basically to have kind of a spanner, I don't know. And this the spool holder here, this little thing is actually supposed to go here. So we have to unscrew one screw here from the case, and then we have a second hole here, and this is supposed to be mounted over here. That's only for cases where you don't have the multi-material unit. I also have the multi-material unit here. This is the thing, this is the unit. It can hold 4 spools. I didn't test it out yet, so I definitely want to test it out. But I'm happy if we can today test out printing different things, hopefully at different speeds, successfully this time. And that's the calibration noise. Yeah, it's just a, you're right. Just in 3D, it's kind of a buffer, probably to make sure that the filament is always, it's always have the same tension. And if you don't want to use that, if you don't want to use the MMU, you just, like, the filament is just inserted here, and you don't need this whole thing. Probably can still stay here. I absolutely want to test out the multi-material printing. Probably will do this in the next video. Today we want to really test out basic printing and using the mobile app to monitor the printer, and hopefully also maybe I can induce some issues in the print and initiate a planned failure after we've done something successfully. So we can figure out if this printer is really as intelligent as they claim, because it's supposed to have some kind of failure detection. So let's see, is the calibration done now? Yes, complete task confirmed. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, I guess what we do now, because the last time it was also a little bit tricky, the filament spool is just laying on the table. I don't want this. I will just fix the filament spool holder, just that we have something in place here. And there's a few spare screws here in this package, probably also for the multi-material printing. Hopefully I can use one of these little ones here. Actually, we can use the screw that fell into the case. That's probably also an option. So, maybe I need a longer one now. That makes sense, because it's now too short. That's not the right one. Here we have another 2. These look good. Okay, so let's try to fix the spool holder here. Does it work? It looks fine. And the second one. So this printer was sent to me by Bambu Lab, I guess, a few weeks ago now. Okay, I still have the filament in, so I'm gonna remove it. I don't want to run it through here, obviously. So let's remove the filament. There is supposed to be some kind of filament change menu. Last time I didn't quite figure out how to use that. There is a thermal and movement menu, and there's an unload button here. And I hope that this unload function actually does preheat, but it seems to be preheating the nozzle before it's removing the filament. So that's good. Just want to get the filament out because I want to route it a different way. Just in 3D. No, it's not the first time use. I've used it last time in the stream. I was trying to print something and I did a mistake. Actually, when I first calibrated, I overlooked that there was this little screw in the bottom, and I mean there could have been any kind of dirt or debris in the bottom, which shouldn't happen, of course, if it's a fresh printer. But if it happens later, if you print something, that's a good point actually. If some stuff falls from the print bed, which sometimes happens on my printers, at least this happens quite a few times, that little pieces of plastic fall down and then fall into the rails somewhere, so you have to clean it up later. If you forget this on this printer, that's probably an issue, because then the print bed cannot come down completely when it falls into these cavities, and it cannot calibrate the print bed correctly. So you have to make sure that the whole bottom, where like the print bed has to settle to the very bottom, that this is all clean, so nothing gets in the way during the calibration. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I think the distance of the Anders Jensen, I think it's a good idea, but the distance between these two screws here it's wider. There's more distance here than between these two screws here. So it's, I was trying to understand how to fit it here last time, and I didn't kind of like, I said, okay, either there's no holes here, they forgot to, or I'm just in the wrong place. And I was obviously in the wrong place. It's supposed to be here. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. So is filament coming out? Okay, so we can pull it out. So I guess we can now have the spool in a better place. So here we go. So this is probably how it will look like if you don't have the multi-material unit. The thing about this printer is, since it has a direct drive extruder and it still has a Bowden tube going from the direct drive to the outside of the case, you have to feed in the filament from here, right? There is no motor outside, so you have to feed it until it touches the gears of the motor that is inside. So, and from here, we can now load the filament back in. Just probably need to heat up. Yeah, the thing is that I'm not, it has an unload button, but it has no load button, or I'm just missing. Oh. So let's heat it up. So I'm trying to understand, am I missing any menu item here? I guess this is like, last time I also like manually loaded just by hitting the extrude button, and it worked also. But I was expecting some, since there is an unload function, that there might be a load function. But there is probably no load function here. Nevertheless, we're going to wait. Okay, it's hot enough, and I can now push the filament a bit. And it's already getting, yeah, it's already moving into the print head, so I guess we should be fine. Yeah, it's already coming out. You can't see it, probably. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's pretty dark in there. I'm trying to show it to you. There is a little outlet here, and that is where it disposes the filament that is like oozing out of the nozzle. And that filament is then disposed at the back side of the printer here's an outlet. So the oozing, like the filament that's oozing out, and before the print starts, it's scratching over a little brush and then it's falling out right here at the backside of the printer. Which is kind of nice. Kind of nice idea. Good. So, too bright. Let's try some printing. So I'm going back to the Benchy. It says 17 minutes. Right, you can see it here. Let's try to not show the lamp. Okay, so it says 17 minutes to print, 10 grams. Okay, let's just start this one more time. That was filament disposal. And now before the print starts, it's doing some kind of calibration, Autobot leveling. There is no screws here. You can't like do this manually. It's all automated and it's supposed to work without any manual interruption or manual process of leveling. Yeah, here you see it's like, it was just going over this little, I don't know, lever where to dispose all the filament that is oozing out. So let's have a look at the chat. Asker, interesting printer. Yes, I'm really curious how this is going to work. I'm curious if it's going to work and how it's going to work. If it's really as fast as it's supposed to be. That's and it's a test printer, so it was sent to me by Bambu Lab as a promotional device, so to say. I guess we're gonna have a look at the printer menu in a bit. I can walk you through. We can do a little bit of a close-up here. The printer is pretty loud now. We have to, I mean, considering that the door is open, this calibration process is always kind of loud because this is kind of a vibration induction test where the printer finds out how much it is actually, how much a vibration influences the print head movement, and it's compensating for that. So that takes a while, and that was the problem in the beginning, that like the initial leveling was kind of off. And I hope this time it's going to work. So Andrew has a question. He's asking, do you have to go through all that every print? I guess from what I've seen so far, I have no option to turn the calibration off. So before it starts, it's taking a while. What we can do is we can like use the stopwatch to figure out how long it takes from initiating the print to starting the actual print. So let me note that down, that we don't forget about that. So we're gonna measure time from initiating print. to actual print start. Because you've probably seen this on the channel, I have put a lot of effort into a video recently that was just about how to make the initial bed leveling faster on a printer. Because I was super annoyed that it took so long for my Ender printer to start printing. So we have a few issues here because it's very dark. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit better with the light. Oh, that looks better now. So let's have a look at the screen, because you wanted also to see a little bit of the user interface. So it does a preheating, a nozzle tip cleaning, I think Mac mode sweep, that's kind of a calibration, bed leveling, extrude compensation scan. That looks like it's going to, I think it's going to print something now to figure out if the bed leveling is correct. And then it has a little camera sort of on the print head, and it looks at the result of this calibration print and figures out if the first layer adhesion is correct. So you see now there's a little light and it's kind of taking pictures to measure out this calibration print. What I'm wondering actually is, since this is obviously taking a little bit of space on the print bed, what will happen if I print something really big? Okay. But I can already see from this that, just comparing it with the last time, that wasn't sticking at all. Now it's pretty well already. It's sticking quite well. Let's see how the print actually goes. Obsidian says the calibration process doesn't have to be done every time, just the first initial time, and anytime you might move it. Otherwise, you should be good to go straight into print. We can try this out. This is literally the first time that I will hopefully finish a print, because the last time I had a detached print. It was my own fault. I didn't look into the bottom of the printer. There was the little screw flying around, and that blocked the calibration process. So we fixed that today. Oh, it's doing another layer. And now it seems to be starting. So I hope I can get this in focus for you. Yeah, that looks quite fast. Yeah, that's kind of default settings. I didn't change anything. Sam has a question here. What is millimeter per second? So the printer is supposed to print at 500 millimeter per second. I'm not sure what the prints, like the default prints that come on the printer, if they all have the maximum speed. But I think so, because they claim to print the Banshee in 17 minutes, and the Banshee is shown as 17-minute print. So you can see the The whole table is vibrating. I don't know if you can see it, but it's inducing a lot of shakiness into the table surface. So I guess if you run this printer at full speed, you should probably have some kind of table that compensates for the movements, or you have kind of a rubber mat underneath the printer. So yeah. But it's actually really fast. Feels really fast. It looks good this time. I think that we already had a detachment last time at the stage, kind of the first 5 millimeters or so, the print was already detaching. At this time it looks much better. It's also not warping up. At least I don't see any warping, so it's probably fine. Yeah, stiffness of the case, from what I've seen so far, it's pretty stiff. I mean, it's also fully enclosed, so it's. I think from that point of view, it's pretty stable. So the question is, what kind of material can we print? What I got with the printer, which was in the box, we have different materials here. We have PACF. Actually, I have to look it up. I think it's some kind of carbon fiber material that came with the printer. Then PLA. I mean, PLA. I have PLA now in the printer. We don't need that. There is probably another type of PLA. What's the difference actually? No, it's two spools of PLA or test spools. I have plenty of PLA. There is some support material. I think that's some kind of water dissolvable support material. If you print multiple, if you want to print something that normally uses supports and you want the supports to be removable easier, then you can use a second material that is water dissolvable, and then you can just put your whole print into a bottle of water or a can of water, and then the support material is going to dissolve into the water, and it's so you don't have to remove the supports. So that's what came with the printer. I also have some other materials here, like PETG, ASA. That shouldn't be an issue to try that out. I don't have any nylon, for example, but the print head on this version is supposed to print at 300 degrees because it's the carbon version. So it also has an all-metal hot end, and it has an additional fan on the other side. On this side, there's an additional fan with I think some kind of filter to actually have better ventilation in the case, and also some kind of filtering of fumes that come out. I think so far we are doing quite good. The question here is from who was asking the question? Oscar was asking it. Is it dual extrusion or dual head? No, it's a single extrusion head with dual gears. So it's a direct drive, single extrusion. And there is a multi-material unit that is kind of similar to what Prusa has, the MMU. So it's swapping out the filament during the print. It's retracting the filament back into the case and then feeding in the new filament. So it also will certainly have some kind of additional tower that it needs to print to for the color change. So it's not like a Palette Pro or something like that that can print multiple materials without the this additional color change tower. So far, if I look at the side of the print, it looks pretty clean so far. The print looks good, yeah, that's right. Do they have any filament tension adjustment on the extruder? I cannot see this at the moment, but we can check it out later. I'm taking that question from Renuti or Yepnuti. Is there a filament tensioner? Probably a gear tensioner. Yeah, Andrew Hayes. Yeah, I see your comment. Prusa XL. I was thinking about the Prusa XL. I was thinking about throwing money at Prusa, but honestly, that is a little bit too much for me. If Prusa decides to send me one, I'm happy. But no, seriously. I mean, 3,000. I mean, I know myself. If I would order one, I would probably order the one with the 5 extrusion heads with all this stuff, and I probably did the case and all this curtain and all the stuff that is probably available. And then I don't know how much that is in the end. It's probably going to be 5,000 euros. No, I can't do it. I don't have the budget for this. You know, if you know, I mean, I can give you a little bit of background how this whole channel works. I rarely talk about it, but honestly, every single cent I make by running this channel, I'm putting back into the channel. So to say, I'm buying printers, I'm buying gear, I'm improving, I'm paying people to help me, and that's so I can be happy that at the moment I get out with zero at the end of any month just to finance this whole endeavor here. And it's for me, this is still a hobby. It's hardly to believe because we have a studio now, we have all that stuff here, and but it's still not, I can't live from this, right? So I'm not personally not making any money with that in terms of that I could pay me a salary or something. So no way. It's just a very expensive hobby at the moment. My wife's telling me all the time. So, don't buy the Prusa. Everyone can choose what they want to buy. I guess if this printer is keeping up its promise to do fast printing, multi-material, high temperature material, and it's completely automated, like the leveling is automated. It has this filament disposal mechanism before a print starts. It's supposed to have detection of errors. So we probably want to introduce some error at some point. Not in this print. I want to have this Banshee completely printed, but I will try to induce some kind of, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm probably gonna try to provoke some spaghetti in this printer to figure out if this printer can actually see what they claim, that the print is failing. I'm not sure if this is going to work now, but we will connect the app. As the next step, we're going to connect the mobile app to this printer, and we're going to test out printing from the mobile app and figuring out if we can monitor the print remotely. So that's what I also want to see. The price for this printer, I think it's somewhere between $6.99 and $9.99. $6.99 is, I guess, the supposed price for the printer without the MMU, so without the multi-material, and then $9.99 But you can check it out on the homepage. I'm gonna post a link here, so you can check it out yourself. Let me just double check. Here we go. Yeah, 1400. Yeah, it also depends if it's dollars, US dollar, Canadian dollar, euro. Probably the price is going to be different for every single country. But let me check out what's on the pricing page for this printer. Kickstarter early bird. Yeah, I was talking about the early bird pricing. I think the early bird $6.99. The carbon that we have here in the studio now is $8.49, and the retail price is $1,200, and the multi-material package is $9.99, $14.49. I think if you can get the printer for this price, it's probably pretty good. But as I say, I have also some sentiments about Kickstarters, and probably a few more people in the chat have same issue. I have funded a few Kickstarters now, and 2 Kickstarters failed now. I mean, failed in terms of one Kickstarter, I lost my money. Oh, actually 3 Kickstarters. I have to correct myself. I had 3 Kickstarters where there was an issue. The first one was a little weeding robot that never made it to Europe because of some kind of restrictions. They couldn't ship it, so I was lucky to get my money back. The second one was a print smoothing device where there was actually probably some acetone or some material being heated up in this device, and then you could put your print in, and they claimed that also PLA would get a smooth surface with this device. I actually don't remember the name. They collected the funds. I guess I paid 300 euros for this, and they never produced it, and they ran away with the money. They really stole the money. That was a really bad Kickstarter. And then there was the Creality. The Creality Kickstarter for this 3D scanner now, the Lizard. They were sued by Artec for Artec claims that they have copyright issues, or that Creality stole the software or hired some people who brought the software from Artec and then tried to build software for Creality. So they stopped the Kickstarter just in the middle, and then now they claim that they will refund the money, and I'm still curious if this is going to happen. So, rip the scan lizard. Absolutely. And that's why I have some sentiments with Kickstarters. I mean, I've Kickstarted a lot of board games, for example, and I still have a board game Kickstarter that I'm waiting for since a year or so. And I still have some faith that it's coming, because board games, I mean, we have, my wife is working in the board game industry, so she knows how this works. I have some faith that this is going to work out in the end. But other Kickstarters probably have failed, and this is not an exception then. And that's why I say, think about it. If you really want to throw the money in, it's your decision. It's always a risk. You cannot ignore that, right? Polysmoother, yeah, that was the thing. Polysmoother, fucking polysmoother. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. I believe H-Zone said, I believe they said that the spaghetti detection is not implemented on the review machines yet. Maybe? Actually, you could be right, because the last time we had a failed print and it stopped in the middle, or it stopped after the first 5 millimeters, and the thing detached from the print but it was kind of ignoring the fact that I think it's, you could be right that it's not yet there, but that's, I mean, we have a week or so until the Kickstarter is beginning, so I don't know if they're shipping the feature until the Kickstarter actually is gonna launch. Yeah. I mean, regarding the production of this printer, there was some comments on the last video also. I totally get it, that they have never proved that they have a production line ready. They have only testing units. That's what people said. All fine. But the point is that Kickstarter is exactly for the point that you want to create a product and you want to get it produced. You don't have the funds to do it all up front. And that's why you have. That's why Kickstarter exists in the first place, right? It's not that Kickstarter should be a shop. Some people think it is a shop, and you can just order stuff there. But that's kind of true, but it's not completely risk-free, right? It's a little bit different. It's a funding mechanism. You're kind of becoming a venture capitalist. Okay, so the print is done. How long did it take? 17 minutes. Okay, nice. Is it already detaching? I'm gonna wait because they said especially if you're using this surface for the first time, I had to put some glue stick on. You probably can see this here. It's a little bit shiny. So they had it in the manual that you should put the glue stick on this plastic surface because otherwise it could be that the print is sticking so well that you are going to ruin this surface by trying to remove it, trying to remove the print. So I personally prefer the PI sheeted beds of Prusa, or like I have these PI coated, I have it here, but I mean, you know it. I have these PI coated sheets on all of my printers now. These are more the Build-Tech styles. There's 2 spare surface stickers came with the printer. I think it's very similar to Build-Tech or anything. Like Creality also has this. It's a little bit smoother. It's like a very soft surface, but yeah, I had the same. I can kind of confirm that they are sticking so well sometimes that if you're not careful, then you can destroy it. Like it's gonna probably rip off the plastic surface with the print. So if you use a glue stick, then you can kind of protect it. But anyways, I hope there is going to be some options in terms of different surfaces. I'm curious if we can try. I don't have one here that is exactly the size, but let me check out if I can find one. I have this one from the Ender 3. I'm just curious if there's a chance that I could try it out, but it's probably a little bit too small. Yeah. Maybe next time. I have a bigger one that I have given to someone to try it out on their printer, which is a bigger one, but I can probably get it for the next stream to try to shape it into the same size for this printer. Maybe you can like trick the printer to use a surface like a PI sheet. I'm just curious because I like the PI sheet so much. So, production is a different beast, my friend, absolutely. Production can get very hard. You can probably run into all kinds of issues, like discovering new problems. And most of the time during production, you figure that your budget is too low, that you have not the right budget for the kind of production you want and need. So let us see. We can take out the build plate. And we can just try to remove the print. that worked. So we'll have a closer look in a bit. I'll just put it here, and I'm gonna adjust the camera so we can have a little bit of a detailed look on the layers. Here we go. So let's try this. Okay, that's the Benchy that came out after 17 minutes. It looks pretty clean, actually. So I can't see any stringing issues. While here at the front we have a little bit of a, I don't know, is this a elephant foot? Tiny bit maybe. And there's a color change here. I mean, the shininess changes for some reason. It looks a bit like the layer height is actually different in the lower layers here. So if I'm honest, you can probably see it. I can try to bring it closer, but the camera has some limits in terms of when it's gonna be sharp for you. How much can we get it? So what I see here personally, I would say that the lower, probably the lower centimeter is a bigger layer height than the upper ones. It's just a guess. I would probably have to look much closer to see this. But just looking at the color change or the shininess change, and also there seems to become, oh my goodness. Stay with me. Here we go. I'm just guessing, but I'm probably right that these layers are a tiny bit higher than the higher ones. But it's just a guess. I mean, that's nothing bad if you consider that all the slicers now have this option to have a dynamic layer height depending on how much detail you actually need in a specific region of the print. So, where's the Benchy? Here we go. I don't know if this camera is actually better in showing close-up. Yeah. So you see, there is this shininess changing somewhere, first centimeter or something. Not bad for the first print. The material that I've used is how is it called? Metallic red. So I guess the metallic red is a bit sensitive to layer thickness and print temperature. So usually I wouldn't print this material at such a high speed, but it's still good. I mean, it's probably, it's the same with other PLAs. I had, for example, PLA black, matte black and glossy black, and I had, like on the Ender 3, I had to like really tune the settings a lot to make the shiny print shiny, with like all the print shiny. Also the surface, like a huge surface, for example, is very difficult to like either have it shiny or have it completely matte. It's not easy. Like you might think that just because the filament is called matte black or shiny glossy black, it's gonna be like a given that it's gonna be glossy, but it's not. It's like a super for this computer case project, right? I can tell you that for this project that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks, to get, I mean, this is not perfect, right? So I have better ones now, but to get this surface on the Ender printer, like at least kind of the same shininess all the way, it's very difficult. It took me really a few tries to figure out the right print settings. Very not nice. A lot of wasted plastic actually. So good. Adaptive layer height, that might be the thing. Yeah. I mean, with the Kickstarter, especially if you do this kind of low pricing, it's probably true that you're not making a lot of money in the first batch. Okay, so let's do the next thing. I think one of your questions was now. I want to address that. We're gonna look at the menu of the printer. I'm gonna do a little bit of a walkthrough. So let me bring us in a good position to do this. So I'm not blocking what you want to see and I can still touch the screen. So here we go. So this is the printer screen to make sure that we are in focus. Good, we have completed our print. Actually, this is something that's showing up when you turn on the printer, and I have no idea what this means. This is turning on off the lights. Here you can see the temperatures. This is our Wi-Fi connection. I guess we can just turn off, or can we turn off Wi-Fi? No, not from here. Probably just showing us that we have a Wi-Fi connection. Then we have a menu here for settings. So the settings menu shows us temperature settings. We can change temperatures here. We can like enter a temperature value. For the print bed, the print nozzle, this is, I guess, showing us the case temperature. This is the fan percentage. What's it set? I think, or this is the speed setting. Printing speed. Okay. There is different print speed settings. Standard, silent, sport, and ludicrous. Oh my goodness. Okay. What's up with this person here? Cole, if you're not stopping spamming the chat, then I'm gonna ban you. I'm not giving you a second chance. Okay? So either you're stopping to spam the chat or you're completely, I'm gonna hide you on the channel. There's no second warning. So, good. I think we understand each other. Good. Ludicrous. So, a little bit copying Tesla. Okay, so if that is like, if we have printed the Benchy in 70 minutes, I'm not sure what changing that speed to ludicrous would actually. I mean, we can try this. If you want, do you want me to test this speed setting? The Benchy printed at standard. That was the setting. And we can try to get up to the ludicrous. Oh my goodness, I'm not able to speak this out. But forgive me, I'm German. Okay, so let's try that. Before we do this, I wanna have my app connected, but I'm gonna move through the menu just to show you the rest. AMS, that is probably just working if we have the multi-material connected, which I don't have at the moment. Here we can move the nozzle into different directions, do the homing, we can move the bed up and down, we can extrude and retract, and we can unload the filament. So the only thing that I'm missing here is a kind of a load function, but yeah, I mean, this is a direct drive, so loading is kind of pointless in terms of it's just a few millimeters, then you have essentially loaded the material, so I can just do it here with this button. Calibration, we have done this in the beginning because I had kind of forgotten to clean the printer and then it kind of failed. So you can start the calibration from here. Someone mentioned in the chat that there might be an option to turn off this calibration in the beginning of every single print, right? I don't see it here. So maybe this is an option that they're gonna add. Then we have the prints that are on the SD card, which are already pre-sliced. Different things here. Probably something that is dual color. I can't really tell. There is probably not many multicolor prints here, at least not what I can see from here. The only multicolor print here seems to be this coin. Okay. Good. Then we have an option for SD card, which is like here at the side, there is a little slot. The case temperature cannot be adjusted. It's only a sensor. Yeah, I agree. There's no active heating here. There is just additional cooling available. So then last menu item, you have this barcode here. Then we have general options, SD card. If we could format it, we have the firmware versions here. We can set the language, set some options for sleeping time when the printer should shut down. How can I get back? My fat fingers. Okay, model name, export log to SD card, restore factory settings, and then we have the network setting where we can connect to wireless networks. I'm just looking at the backside of the printer, but there is no Ethernet connection, so it's only wireless. Some printers have Ethernet. Then we have additional functions here, controller, device self-test. Honestly, I don't know what this is all about because there is no, I think this is work in progress, to be honest. I could do a device self-test. I'm not sure if I want to do it now. I don't want to waste time on that, but there's probably more things coming here. So what we can do now, as suggested, we can, what is the speed here? We can set the speed to ludicrous and move back to the benchy. I mean, it still says 70 minutes. I'm not sure, if this is going to override something. Here we have. Oh, here I see. We can skip the bed leveling. We can skip these things here. That was what I was looking for. That was the option that I was missing. Okay, we can speed up the start of the print, hopefully. But 70 minutes. It doesn't if I'm changing to silent. Let's do it the other way. Just a moment. Changing to silent. Will it change? No, it still says 70 minutes. So let's go for the fastest one. Skipping all these things and start printing. Come down a bit. So it should start faster now. Yeah, the camera is freaking out. It could go a little bit higher. Come see it sing here. Okay, so let's see. It's probably going to start faster because we are skipping the whole calibration thing. Yeah, the network. Because I've shown the network for security. Well, I'm changing my network keys frequently, so don't worry. And we have separate networks anyways for public and private network, but good point. Get ready to catch the printer as it shakes itself off the table. Let's see. I think it's gonna be fine. First I have to get the camera in a place where it will focus. What's happening? Here we go. That doesn't look too good. So I guess skipping the calibration is probably... Oh, yeah, I'm so stupid. Well, why didn't you tell me that I forgot to put on the build plate? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was kind of... Yeah, but that was showing you, okay, this was the, I don't know, millimeter that was missing in the calibration. Don't worry. Nothing happened. You didn't see anything. So, gonna put on the build plate now. The thing is, I have something that's still a little bit leftover filament on the build plate that I want to get rid of. And it is sticking super, super crazy. Okay. Got it. So, this was kind of the problem last time, that I couldn't get it perfectly centered. There is these guide rails here on the side that should make it easier. I think it's okay now. But you have to push it all the way in, and then that it touches these corners. Otherwise it's not really well positioned. So, but you see, I've tried to fake some problem unintentionally, and there was no... The printer wasn't shutting down, so it's obvious that there is not, currently at least, no feature to detect failures with the camera. That was the test I was actually wanting to induce, but now we did it anyways. Proof of that. That was the proof that this is not a fake video. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, there is some filament coming out here. Yeah, that's the place where this actually got thrown out, which is nice. We can have a look from the top if you want. We can wait until print starts, and then I'm gonna show you the top just in a bit. Let me wait until the printer starts, because I want to make sure that this works still. So, nozzle cleaning. By the way, is music still... Yeah, almost done with this playlist. Good. The human needs calibrating. Yeah. It's pretty late here, actually. It's already midnight in Germany. So, just remember we are using the fastest print speed now. I'm hoping that we can see a difference. I'm not sure, though. Because it could absolutely be that the print speed is also in the print file and that overriding it in the menu is something that they want to be available, but it's maybe not. We will see. Because the print time was still 17 minutes in the print menu, although I have now set the fastest speed. So let's see what happens. Okay, that looks better now. But honestly, I cannot tell you if it's printing faster than last time. We will see. We have to wait. What I can do for you now is I can open the top of the printer and we can have a look inside how the whole mechanism looks like. So, there is this glass plate up here. Here you see it. And we can open that up. Remove it carefully. So here you see, this is how the whole system looks like from the top. So you see here is this is the direct drive. Filament comes in here on the backside. So also a nice detail here. This is the additional fan that is like transporting out the fumes. If you are printing, especially if you're printing ABS or something, there is this additional fan that's only in the carbon version of the printer. I'm putting back the camera down. And once the plate is removed, it's also much louder. So, like we can close it. How much more silent? It's much more silent if the door is closed. This is with the closed door. I don't know if you can hear the difference. So I'm just gonna stay here next to the door. This is the printer running with the door closed. Now we're opening the door. Yeah, it's quite a difference. Good. But honestly, I don't think that this is going to be faster than last time. So I guess that setting the print speed in the menu is currently not doing a difference. So I'll have to figure out in the next stream, until the next stream, how we can actually slice something for this printer. I hope they are supporting Prusa Slicer. I want to use Prusa Slicer, obviously, but there's probably support for Cura also. I mean, until we get a print profile for this printer. Yeah, fingerprints everywhere. I can confirm the glass is very much liking fingerprints, showing them everywhere. So, actually, since I can see that the print is not going faster, I will do the following. I want to interrupt the print. Wouldn't normally do this, but I think it's a waste of time to wait for the print, which is essentially printing the very same thing that we already printed. I will try to connect my app on my phone, which is the Bambu Lab app. This is the app. So that app wasn't working until the weekend, and I had contact with the Bambu Lab development team because it wasn't running on a German phone, and they had some kind of language problem that it only worked with English language settings on the phone, and then they fixed it. It took them about an hour. We had a little back and forth chatting on Sunday, and then they fixed it, and now it's working also if the phone is in a different language. I want to do one last test today. I want to connect this to the printer. I want to try starting a print and like seeing if that works from the phone, and then I think in the next stream we'll also definitely figure out how to slice something, and if there's more firmware updates coming over the weekend. So I'm gonna get into contact with the team one more time over the weekend, and then we're gonna implement the MMU. So I think that's something also for next time, because it's gonna take a while to mount it and get it working. So let's kick it off for the app and remote printing. So yeah, you can see here still 9 minutes to go. It's not really faster. I mean, there's literally no difference. So yes, I want to. Actually, what happens if I say, no, I don't want to cancel this task? When I hit stop, this menu pops up that asks me if I want to actually cancel the task, but it's already canceled, so I can only say yes. It's probably, we have to, that has to be fixed also. So I am going to connect my phone. There's a barcode on this phone, on the printer. Is it working? I'm curious how it works. So it's scanning. It's basically scanning devices nearby using Bluetooth. Actually, I didn't use the barcode. I couldn't use it. It wasn't really using the camera. It was just saying there is a Bluetooth device nearby, and I hit yes, confirm, bind the device. Do I have to do anything here on the print menu? Good question. That is a very good question. On the Bambu Creator app's home screen, tap Device, Scan, logging in. So let's see if that works. Logging into the device. Okay. Did it work? Unfortunately, it didn't work. Don't know, you can't see it here. I have to block off my face here. So it's hard to see, but there's supposed to be a list of printers here. There's just a box here that shows no printer. And the error messages are still all in Chinese, so I can't really tell you what went wrong. But connecting to the printer didn't work, unfortunately. So another support session over the weekend, I guess, or maybe this week. So far, so good. Up next, I guess next time we are doing the MMU. And hopefully we can get the app working next time. So I'm gonna get back to the Bambu Lab team to tell them, okay, unsuccessfully with connecting the app. And we're gonna try to make it work next time. I wanna thank you all for coming, because this was probably one of the streams where we first time ever, we had over 100 concurrent viewers on the stream, which is kind of amazing. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being patient. We did 1.5 hours of streaming. Everything worked fine, hopefully, for you. The slicer software is something I want to test out, absolutely. But first of all, I really want to see how can we use this printer remotely, because it's one of the advertised functions. When will we get the function for detecting errors? Slicer software, yeah, there's a few things that are missing now. So the hardware seems to be working. I said this also, with every printer that I'm testing so far. Thank you for being silent now. With every printer that I've tested so far on this channel, the biggest issues weren't actually the hardware, because the hardware is today, the hardware isn't that big problem anymore. There's standard parts for almost anything. The biggest problem is if you have to develop a pretty good software, something that is usable. Apple, is the best example. Apple, I don't want to over-exaggerate the quality of Apple products here. Samsung is also making great products. But the thing is, I think these are two perfect examples where the manufacturer has the control over the hardware and the software, and they are playing this very, very nicely. So they looking for usability. They're testing this with users. They're figuring out what users want. And if you're not putting in the time into the software, as some printer manufacturers do, they just are getting kind of lazy and then putting in Marlin in the default configuration with not even the very basic features enabled in the software, then the user experience is kind of bad. So it's simply not worth it. And that's where I see the potential of this device is that when they are putting in the effort into the software and they're making a good software that works with the mobile app and that has this detection of errors, and you can print from anywhere and you can monitor and everything works fully automated, then this has kind of potential. This has potential to be one of the best printers that could be for the price. But currently we have to see. And that's why I say Kickstarter, I mean, you see there is problems. There is things that aren't working right now. So that's the risk of a Kickstarter, that you have to trust the team of the developer that they are going to deliver and they are going to fix issues. And so far, I mean, my experience with them over was good. They responded quickly. They fixed the problem. They gave me the solution to the issue that I had. But I am one of maybe, I don't know, 50 people who have the printer, or maybe even less. So for them, currently it's easy to support just a few people and talking to them directly. What will happen if this company sells thousands of printers and then has to support everyone who has come problems? That's something that we have to see. So, yeah, next time on the channel, on Friday, I'm gonna release a video that I made here with Rasmus, and we did a little bit of a nice collaboration together. I hope you will like this video. It was fun. So thanks for watching. See you next time on the channel. The next live stream about this printer, as I said, hopefully making some progress. I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you, if you want to know in between what happens, maybe subscribe to my Twitter and Instagram. I'm gonna post some updates there for sure. Also gonna post, probably gonna post some stuff here on the YouTube community tab of the channel. So you're gonna see something there, and hope to see you soon back here. It was a lot of fun. Have a good night. Here it is, midnight, 20 minutes after midnight. Just to let you know. I'm going home now. Okay. See you soon. You still here? Okay. Maybe next time we should do some giveaways. I forgot about it this time. So don't forget to come next time.